Good pause YouTube, 6fthax here. After you guys, today a Wi-Fi battle I had against Elad. I had this match off of Discord. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer that like button down below to answer the question of the day. I'm using a pretty cool team I got off of the Smogon forum, so a link to that would also be down in the description if you guys want to go check out some of the teams that you can potentially use. But yeah, going into this match, Elad had a Hail team. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, but he had a Hail team, which I was honestly not expecting because, funny enough, this team has a very special Lucario set that doesn't really care about Beartic. So, knowing that he had no form of getting rid of my Stealth Rocks, I'm just going to lead off with my Bronzong turn 1, as he's going to be leading off with his Galvantula. I thought he would lead off with Galvantula to get up webs, or maybe trying and lead off with Ninetales, but because he did lead off with Galvantula, I will be able to live any hit and get on my rocks as he hard switches directly into Jellicent. That is fine by me because I'm going to make a pretty judgmental play here. I knew the Will-O-Wisp was very obvious. Now, Bronzong does 100% help me with the Alola Ninetales and the Beartic, but this Jellicent is actually a really huge problem to my team. And I don't know if his Milk Tank has Heal Bell or not, but if I'm able to Toxic this Jellicent and he doesn't have the Heal Bell on the Milk Tank, then that just means I'm going to be able to wear down this Jellicent and beat it a whole lot easier with my team. Unfortunately though, my Bronzong is not burned, so I'm not going to be able to gain back any more HP with my lefties, but at the same time I'm not going to be losing any HP because of the burn nerf this generation. As I switch directly into my Primarina thinking that he would go for the Shadow Ball, this is fine because I will be able to live any move that he wants to go for as he reveals to have the Hex, and that is actually a little bit annoying. Just because if I do rest up with my Primarina, I'm pretty sure the damage output of Hex is still doubled, and he doesn't know if I'm a defensive set or just like modest max special attack with leftovers, so he's gonna leave in his Jellicent here, just scouting out to see what I wanted to do, as I'm able to do a really solid amount of damage. And if I was especially offensive Primarina, I really think I would have just 2 KO'd his Jellicent here, especially after this toxic damage. But it's fine though, because that toxic damage is all I need on this Jellicent for it to not be as big of a problem as it could be. So here I make a really good prediction, and knowing that he's going to expect me to go for another Moonblast, I'm actually going to go for the Scald, predicting him to switch out and potentially try to bring in the Nidoqueen as I get off a huge amount of damage. Again, if I was offensive, would have knocked him out, but I don't have any special attack EVs. I do get a little bit lucky and I get a burn. Honestly, I'm not too sure how crucial that burn really is. Even if I didn't burn him, I still would have switched directly into my Latias. So I guess in that case, he either would have switched out, or he still probably would have just left in his Nidoqueen for Death Fodder, as he does way too much damage to my Latias. I thought that that would only do like maybe 50-60%. No, that did way too much damage. So I'm able to knock out the Nidoqueen, as he can now get a free switch into the Milk Tank. Unfortunately, if I could switch up moves, then I would be able to Draco Meteor here. Probably wouldn't knock out the Milk Tank though, so I probably wouldn't stay in either way. But I'm going to be forced to switch out here because I am locked in the Psyshock. As I bring in my Bronzong, he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks on my switch out, knowing that I wouldn't stay in, risking him potentially paralyzing me with Body Slam or Thunder Wave, or just going for the Moltric on the Draco Meteor. So either way, Bronzong is in a pretty good spot here. He can definitely go for the Heal Bell, but that's fine because what I'm going to do is actually go for the Toxic. This way, if he does want a Heal Bell, I can Toxic his Milk Tank. Although he will lose a Toxic on Jellicent, I can still Toxic Milk Tank and force him to waste his Heal Bells potentially sooner, and there's still always a chance I can Toxic Jellicent later in the match, as he does actually switch directly into Jellicent on my Bronzong. Now I'm thinking maybe he doesn't have the Heal Bell, because he does have Ninetales, which could have the Aurora Veil, which protects your team from statuses. So there is a chance he may not have the Heal Bell, which is really good, as this turn I'm going to make the safe switch back into my Primarina, expecting him to want to go for the Recover or go for the Hex, but he makes a very good double switch here into the Galvantula, knowing that I wouldn't leave in my Bronzong, and because I already showed him that Primarina was my initial switch into Jellicent, this was very good for him to capitalize on, because this puts me in a very tough spot, because now I literally have to choose something to sack off. So I sack off Bewear, which shouldn't even be shiny, so I don't even feel bad about sacking this off. Plus Bewear was really not doing anything in this battle so long as he had Jellicent at over 50% if he was physically defensive, and Milk Tank still outspeeds max speed Bewear, which is a little bit sad. If I was Assault Vest, then I might have been able to take 2 of these hits and got off a huge hit on Galvantula or forced them out. But no, I am choice banded, and down goes my Bewear as I can get a free switch into my Mega Aerodactyl, which this set is not the set from the sample team I got because for some reason I couldn't get Defog Aerodactyl to go through. But either way, it is offensive Aerodactyl, so I can just click Stone Edge here. I really wanted to click Pursuit. I was super close to clicking Pursuit, but I didn't want to make that play on the off chance that for some reason he stayed in. And by going for Stone Edge, I guarantee that I put him in range of where he's basically forced to go for the Milk Drink with Milk Tank. And that gives me a free switch into my Lucario because I'm very positive he's not going to Body Slam, he's not going to Thunder Wave. He definitely has to go for either the Milk Drink or go for the Heal Bell for his Jellicent. So he does end up Milk Drinking, and I'm in a really good spot right now. I thought about going for the all-out pummeling here, but I did not want to risk him potentially switching into his Jellicent, and I didn't feel comfortable in going for the Flash Cannon, even though he could have brought in his Ninetales like he did here. And unfortunately, Aura Sphere is not going to be strong enough to knock out this Ninetales. Even if I was Life Orb, I don't think I would have knocked him out unless I was modest, because I'm actually Timid Z move. But if I did go for the all-out pummeling or the Flash Cannon there, I would have knocked out this Ninetales. And I think it's actually really cool how in the background it changes to cloudy when it's hailing. If you guys noticed, it was sunny, now it's cloudy and grayish because of the hail. I thought that was really cool. I didn't notice that until I rewatched the battle on, when I was recording it. But I switch it to my Bronzong as he unfortunately does get up the Aurora Veil, which is really annoying because now I have to play around the Aurora Veil because my team is not going to be able to break down his walls even if this Jellicent is toxic. So I do go for the Earthquake, very positive that he would either leave in his Ninetales or switch into his Jellicent. Now by going for the Earthquake on the Jellicent switching, I'm able to put him below 50% HP, which means he is most likely going to want to go for the Recover this turn. Because if he does predict me to switch back into my Primarina and doubles back into Galvantula, Galvantula is going to take rocks damage and hail damage. And then Jellicent is going to be at around 30-ish% HP, 40-ish% HP when it comes back in and switches into Stealth Rocks. So predicting him to want to go for the Recover here, not risking having Jellicent at low HP, I'm going to make the safe switch into my Primarina. And the good thing about this is that he really has no switch-ins to my Primarina. This is where this Toxic on Jellicent is very huge again, because now with Primarina I can pressure this Jellicent and beat it 1v1, as where I wouldn't have been able to do that if it was not Toxic. And along with the hail, I'm actually able to use that to my advantage because I'm able to wear down Jellicent even more. So I can literally just go for the Moonblast here and lose absolutely nothing, as I do get a little bit lucky and I get the special attack drop. Honestly, that special attack drop does not end up mattering at all in the long run of the battle, as you guys will see. So he is going to be able to go for the Will-O-Wisp, which is fine by me because I am actually a Rest Talk variant of Primarina, which I thought was pretty cool because this is apparently a fire check, and funny enough, it also checks the Beartic, which he does have on his team. So that's really nice, as Jellicent, as you can see, is starting to really get worn down by hail and Toxic. So predicting him to want to go for the Recover again, switch out or go for the Hex, I'm going to make an aggressive switch back into my Lucario, as he is actually going to end up going for the Hex. Now, even if I didn't get the -1, this still wouldn't have done much more damage than it did now, and that extra damage isn't game changing in the slightest, as I'm in a really good spot and I literally just click a move and Lucario gets a kill. There's nothing that he has that can switch into Lucario, and at this range of HP, even if Jellicent is max Spadef, max HP, I will definitely knock him out with the Dark Pulse, as down goes Jellicent, which was a humongous pain to me in this match. That is one less thing that I now have to worry about. Unfortunately though, he can bring in the Beartic and I do not have the Vacuum Wave. So I'm not going to be able to potentially knock him out, and I'm going to be forced to switch out back into my Primarina here. Again, I am max defense, max HP, so I completely deal with this Beartic 1v1, as he does end up going for the Superpower. Superpower also covered my potential switch into Bronzong, which I was close to making, but I knew that Primarina was probably my better play. And now, unfortunately, I have to basically go for the Moonblast. As much as I would love to go for the rest, I can't do that because he literally just switches back into Ninetales. And the problem with this is that he could have Freeze Dry, which hits my Primarina for super effective damage. And then, knowing my luck, when I try to go for Sleep Talk, I'm going to pull a rest, and then Ninetales is going to 2-KO me, and this match could go very, very badly. So I decided to just be aggressive, and I go for the Moonblast as I knock out the incoming Ninetales. This is really good because now, once this hail is gone, I'll be in a better spot in this matchup. Unfortunately, though, I don't really think I can stall 8 more turns of hail, so that could be very bad for me. As in comes the Galvantula. At this point, I'm actually going to make a bit of an odd play, and I'm going to sack off my Aerodactyl. The reason I did this is because I thought that Primarina could still potentially live one hit from the Beartic, maybe one hit from the Miltank, and then I could go for the rest. Also, with hail being up, I don't outspeed the Beartic with my Aerodactyl, and I already do nothing to the Miltank with my Aerodactyl. So at this point, Aerodactyl, I think, was definitely the most expendable team member to me. As I sack him off, he's going to be able to bring back in the Beartic. Now, all I need to do is just get off one hit with my Bronzong, so my Latios can come in and revenge kill with Scarf Psyshock. Unfortunately, he gets a flinch though, which kind of sucks because I could be in range of where a superpower could knock me out, and that's really bad because I'm going to have to rely on Draco Meteor to knock out this Beartic, which puts me at -2 on his switch back into Miltank, which could also be really bad. But he ends up going for the Swords Dance here, and this is really good because I get off that necessary chip damage with Heavy Slam, and now Latios will 100% knock him out with the Psyshock. The only other issue is that he could maybe have the Aqua Jet. I highly doubt it though, but there's a chance he could definitely have Aqua Jet, as he's going to go for the +2 Icicle Crash. He probably thinks that he can sweep at this point in the match because Beartic outspeeds everything I have, but little does he know I have Choice Scarf Latios, which is going to be able to outspeed this Beartic, knock him out with the Psyshock. And if he had the Aqua Jet there, he definitely should have gone for it because it might have been able to knock me out along with the hail. And even after hail, my Latios is going to be able to live another Stealth Rock switch in, which is absolutely amazing because as he brings in the Miltank here, what I can do is sack off my Primarina, and this is going to let me get a free switch into my Lucario, which is going to pick up a KO against either this Miltank or against the Galvantula, which funny enough, as you can see there, I am able to live a Body Slam, so I could have definitely gone for a rest against this Miltank. But luckily, down goes Primarina as I can now bring in my Lucario, and I'm going to be able to just click all out pummeling and either knock out this Miltank or knock out the Galvantula. And by bringing in Primarina, that also covered him potentially trying to switch into Galvantula, thinking I would switch into my Lucario. So that way I could still sack off my Primarina to the Galvantula, then bring in Latios, click Draco, to a KO the Miltank or OHKO the Galvantula. As I'm able to just nuke this Miltank, it just dies. So I guess saving my Z move was really good because I didn't have to risk a potential roll there. And his last Pokemon, of course, is this Galvantula, which oddly enough never went for Sticky Webs because it turns out that he was actually Spexed. I thought that he didn't go for webs because he was expecting me to have defog on Latios, which, I mean, at this point he knows I'm Scarf, so it doesn't really matter, as I can bring in Latios, just barely live Stealth Rocks, and in return, knock out the Galvantula for the extremely narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. So really good game to Elad, guys. Hopefully y'all did enjoy the intense battle. Make sure to hammer that like button down below to answer the question of the day. With that being said, guys, there are 2 videos on the end screen, and I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you all for watching, guys. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping.